Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where I'm going to be listening to the new Ningen ISU song, which, if you didn't realise, dropped on Christmas night. Now, Christmas night, Japanese time that is, so it's kind of in the middle of the day for everyone else. But as wonderful as that was, you guys, if you saw my Christmas message yesterday that I put out on video, you'll probably know that I was a little bit busy and today was not that much different, so I didn't get to listen to it. And I've been thinking all day, let's listen to a new Ningen ISU song. Because Ningen is actually a song group who I've been enjoying more than I expected. Let's be honest, if you've been following this channel for a while, you know Ningen ISU is not naturally my usual sort of style of music. They're a little bit more old school metal than I'd usually go for, but just something keeps on bringing me to come back to them. And I think it's a mixture both of the character they put into the music and the sort of experimental nature of how they approach things. And every now and then, I mean, with most of their songs I can see something in it that I like, but every now and then I hear a song that just really blows me away. And the last single they dropped out, which is from this new album, was amazing. Now, also, if you, actually I keep on referring to old videos, but if you checked out the video I did where I went to Tokyo for the release of the new Bandmate album Conqueror, you'll see that I actually covered a lot of the Ningen ISU advertising going on as well. And when I walked past Tower Records in Shibuya, like the most famous Tower Records in Japan, there was like the video screens outside were playing the usual adverts, but then they would get to the Heartless Scat by Ningen ISU video, that breakout video that made them so popular online, and they would play through the entire song, the entire video, which is like 7 or 8 minutes long. So someone had clearly paid for advertising time to put the entire Ningen ISU Heartless Scat video out there. So there's a lot of like Ningen ISU sort of mania building up at the minute. Now, I don't know, I'll be honest, I don't know, because usually I don't know if Heartless Scat is on the same album as these new songs that we've been hearing, like the one that came out on the 5th of November this year, the one that's just come out on Christmas Day as well. But I'm guessing that, you know, Ningen ISU are really pushing a lot of new material and they're really pushing for sales at the moment, whilst the hype's still high around their sort of breakout internet success. They've been around for 30 years or so, according to you guys. So I'm looking forward to hearing this. Like I say, wow, I got a weird Mickey Mouse look when I put that on my head. But I really liked the songs that I heard last. There's a couple of songs I really love, but we're always honest on this channel, and I'm really interested to see what I think of this one. So we're going to dive straight in with this one. This is called Love Nirvana, which sounds like a real hippie song. I can't imagine Ningen ISU doing hippie, but as you guys know, the songs I usually like by them are their faster ones, the ones with a little bit more punch and experimental. This is just under 6 minutes, which I guess by Ningen ISU standards makes it short. Anyway, let's jump in with this Love Nirvana by Ningen ISU and we'll see what we think afterwards. Alright, here we go. Ningen ISU, Love Nirvana. It's quite a growl. Who are you? I hope she doesn't have the same fate as that girl in the Suicide from Shinagawa video. Good intro. This is sounding very Motorhead, and that's not a problem for me at all. There's a lot of muted notes between all the sort of stabbing chords here, and the way that's sort of rumbling alongside the really active heavy drum beat, working fantastic. There's a good chorus as well, simple but effective. And choruses are not necessarily these guys' things, so just having a good refrain that you can memorize and come back to, that's a strong point for them. They're a riff band, and they got riffs to spare. girl's worrying me now. Everything about this is simple and effective. It works brilliantly. This breakdown reminds me of like those Offspring bridges from like Ixnay on the Hombra and Smash. Breakdown to the toms. Very effective technique, simple but effective. That's what this song is, simple but effective. We've still got 3 minutes to go though, which is the average length of an Offspring song. Everything about that is brilliant. Listen to those extra sounds coming off the guitars, like little squeaks and things. Gives it so much more personality. That's got to be one of my favourite guitar solos I've heard since we started doing that. That was brilliant. I'm surprised how much I'm liking this. Listen to the way the rhythm changes in this last bit. Wait for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know who this actress is, but I can see why they hired her. That's amazing. That's just... We'll have to cover why in a minute. Got 10 seconds to go. Alright. Yeah, okay. Oh no, she's got the same fate as the other girl. Oh no, not another dead person. Ningen ISU, what's wrong with you? Keep on killing all these actresses, god damn it. Maybe she was just asleep. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to the actress, because the song was really interesting. Alright guys, we've got a lot to unpack here, so I'm going to jump in straight on this song. So many things about that. Like I said, I'm one of these people, I'm open to anything, and although I like all genres, there are certain genres that I have more sort of reservations about, and I think that sort of old school metal thing, a lot of the time my problem is that it's very hard for something to really hit with impact for me in that sort of old school metal sound. I hate to say it, but most of those old school things that people really love about Metallica and Black Sabbath, they're the two examples I usually give. When I hear them, I kind of think, well, nowadays we've got that but better. That's just my feeling, you know. Look, I know a lot of people have nostalgia and a lot of people like that sound. It's very rare that you hear something that has kind of an old school feel to it but takes advantage of the modern recording to get more impact. Now, the last song that we heard from Ningen ISU, assuming it's from the same album, that had kind of more just a raw energy, like a charge to it. This one was more in keeping with their usual sound, I'd say, of being more sort of mid-tempo, plodding and about impact, but it kind of worked because of the sounds in between. Anyone can slam an impact and stab a few notes out of a guitar and just go bam, 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 and you sort of punch with those notes. Anyone can do that. It's what you do between the notes. And I keep on saying this, if you want to do heavy music, anyone can be loud. Loud is not a skill. anyone can be loud, because that's just the machine being loud. Skill is about how you make that loud count. And this is one of those songs where I felt it worked. And one of the things I really noticed, like I was saying, between the notes you had the muted guitar. Now, just in case you're not aware of what muted guitar is, I'm sure if you're a Ningen Issu fan, you probably are aware, but let's be fair to people, not everyone knows what that means. Obviously, if you play a note, you get a bang sort of sound out of it. Muted is where you've got the string. Imagine that's the string, it's actually my hand. And you get your hand, you put it on there, you rest it gently, and you play it. So you're kind of muting it. You're stopping the note playing too much. So instead of a bang, you get a bup. So you get bup, 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 and that's how you get that chugging sound that I love to do in sort of verses in rock songs. So instead of the notes all going bam, 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 they go bup, 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 bup. Again, when I do these vocal impersonations of instruments, I want you to know how much detail comes out of my voice. I could be a professional beatboxer. I could be a professional voice band. Yeah. So anyway, but you get my point, hopefully. Those sounds between the stabs, you get the bang and a bang, those sounds are really important. And there was a little bit of squeak sound happening at the same time, especially in the second verse. Now, that could have been one of two things. That could have been the sound coming off of the guitar, where it was just like the distortion was kind of stretching a little bit, the sound coming through the guitar amplifier where it makes the big sound. Or it could have been equally, sometimes I really like when producers a lot of the time decide what sounds of the recording actually get through into the final mix. Sometimes when you're playing a drum kit and you're playing really heavy, the kick drum, the real booming beat, you get a squeak sound coming off of the kick pedal, because you kick that pedal, hits the hammer, hits the kick drum, so you're getting a boom, 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 boom. But sometimes if you're actually behind the drum kit, you can hear a squeak, squeak, squeak sound as well. It could have been that or the guitar. I couldn't quite work out, and I didn't want to focus on it too much. But either way, whatever it was this very sort of organic squeak sound that was coming through. And I really liked that. It gave a lot of character. So when it was chugging along, it didn't sound too just like a dull rumble, like just nothing. It sounded kind of lively and active. You could kind of feel like you were in the room with the band. I liked the whole sort of sound of this song, the way it sort of charged forwards. For something that, like I say, on paper, the way this was played, sort of stabs, mutes, just your normal sort of old school metal tropes, I could have been quite bored with this, but there were two factors that kept it going. Like I say, I kind of got into a few details about it, but the production, the whole way that it was produced, the modern techniques that allow you to extract more from the recording than bands in the older days like Black Sabbath really could have done. So, no disrespect to them. Like I say, I'm not a big fan of them. In all fairness, at the time that they were recording, they couldn't have got quite as much of the sound out as bands like Ningen Issu can. So they really extracted the most out of the sounds of the instruments. So it sounded kind of raw and lively, something that Ningen Issu are always good at. But also was the fact that they switched up the way the song was played. It was... I keep on using this example of simple and effective. It's not as easy as it sounds. But I think the three examples I use most of all are, if you imagine... Song 2 by Blur, Back in Black by AC/DC, and Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. Songs that don't have anything complicated at all going on in them, and yet they really hit hard. Sometimes just you get a simple formula that works. Now, Ningen Issu, like I say, some of their riffs to me don't grab me, and you get some of the songs, they become quite long and nothing really grabs me, and it kind of becomes something where I go, okay, it's okay, but it feels like background music. It's not really... sort of like, say, grabbing me, pulling me forwards and like sort of begging for attention with, like that sort of forceful energy. This song, however, has that quality. This is one of those songs where you feel really engaged. Again, the melody, his voice is fantastic, but the way the melody worked with that chugging sound and how everything really grabbed you. And then I pointed out, and you might have heard this, so you've got that sort of usual 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We talk about time signatures a lot on this channel, but each phrase of that, each section of that was ended with a bit where it skipped to a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go into more detail when I do my tutorial about time signatures for you guys who don't know so much about it, about why that particular technique of 3, 3, 3, 3, 4 actually works. You probably work that out if you're good at math, but that's one of those things where, they use that well to suddenly shift things up without, derailing it, without making it sound too much like it's going off course. There was just little writing techniques that kept this fresh, and yet each phrase, each part of the song was quite simple. So it took advantage of being simple and impactful. It took advantage of switching itself up enough not to get too stuck in a routine and become too, backgroundy. It kept enough in the foreground to keep you paying attention. And just everything worked. Like, to say, the whole sound was really grabbing. It had a refrain Okay, yeah, this is not like a chorus for the ages, and it's not one that you're going to be singing every time you take a shower, but it's one of those ones where when it's on, every time it comes around, you're like, okay, and you're ready for it, and you can sing for it. So it does everything you can ask for. It's catchy, impactful, energetic, well-produced, which is really important for this kind of song, and it's got a refrain that you can come back to easily. Personally, I would say that this is, for something which, like I say, is not normally 100% my style of music, this really played it in exactly the way that I would love to hear this type of music played. So I'm really interested to see what you guys say in the comments. Really interested to see whether for you guys this, if you're more, especially if you're more of a traditional metal fan than I am, tell me whether this to you sounds off in any way, whether you like it. How would you compare it? Do you think this benefits due to sort of production and the clarity of quality of recording to compared to older songs? You know, like I say, take example of things like Black Sabbath and like old Metallica, or do you actually prefer those old recordings and you think stuff like this sounds too clean and too squeaky? Really interested to see what you guys think, because like I say, I do accept that I'm not the target audience for this type of band, and yet I really do like them because I like the character they put into it. I mean, last thing I will just quickly mention is the video. I mean, considering their success, they do seem to still be working on a relatively small budget. I think more of their money goes into marketing than anything else, so the videos are done relatively simple, and I think considering that the video was engaging enough, it was one of those ones where nothing on screen at any particular time was like a wow moment. There were no money shots, but it was one of those ones where it was cut in an interesting way that it kept you going for 6 minutes, especially along with that song, which kind of made it a bit easier. But it was nicely cut. It didn't get boring. They didn't drag too much on certain shots, and the imagery with the like high contrast colors really worked quite well. So yeah, like I say, in my opinion, this was something that I just think it worked. I think it was a good song. It's taken from such simple basis, it just kind of kicked in the right ways, hit in the right ways, had the right sounds at the right time. There's no particular thing where you can say that's what made it work. It was just a collection of things coming together, in my opinion. So like I said, this is a really interesting discussion starter for me. I am actually now, I've got to admit, with a band like Ningen ISU, I always been one of those people who I always think, oh, some songs I like, some songs I don't. Well, not that I don't hate any of the songs, just some songs I like, some songs I'm kind of like okay with. I think now I've heard these two songs, not knowing which other ones we've heard are actually singles from this album as well. Maybe it's only these two songs that have been released from this album. But based on these two, I'm actually genuinely quite excited for this album now. It has come out. By the way, you guys might have seen it. I showed it was debuted at number 9 in the charts, which is really good for this kind of thing. I'm actually now seriously considering maybe we should do a track by track of this, because this is really good actually. These two last tracks I've really enjoyed. Anyway, I've been waffling enough. So for now, from Japan, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I'm really looking forward to seeing the comments on this one. And until I see you on the next video, until I speak to you soon, thank you so much for checking in. And we'll just quickly add at the end of this that a lot of people said Happy Christmas to me that I didn't have a chance to reply to. Thank you so much. We'll be getting back to you guys eventually, but thank you so much. Hope you've had a lovely Christmas and a wonderful New Year if I don't get a chance to speak to you sooner. And for those of you who are asking about what's going to be happening on the channel next year, very good question. There's going to be a few things happening, and I'll try and update in the live stream, but for anyone who's not available there, I'll try and get back to your comments as well. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. You have a wonderful day, and until I see you soon, for now, ciao ciao. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out more of our hundreds of videos we got online on this channel right now, or get involved in the discussion with us at the many social media links we've got in the description below, where you can suggest new videos and artists for us to check out on the channel. Or you can just do the usual YouTube stuff and comment, like, subscribe. You know how this works by now.